is a Tibetan Lama. Actually, I was born into a Vajrayana traditional family. My father is from Tibet, and Tibet is snow-capped mountains in the Himalayas, and following in the Vajrayana tradition, especially in the Nyingma tradition. So what I would like to share with you in our next slide is about the kind of courses that we have here at Dharma College. We have a term. It starts from September till the early part of summer, so up until June period, from September to June. We have 6 courses per term. A course is about 6 weeks long, and then we have an extra week of intensive practice. We have about 34 courses, and we have 210 classes per year with a faculty of about 11. You can find out more information by going to dharma-college.com. All of our professors have PhD doctorates. They're actually Western based, and so in comparison, in a way, to Venerable Bhikkhuni, who is speaking really from a traditional perspective of how the Dhamma is presented for this education of bhikkhunis, what I'm going to present to you today is that Dharma College is really very, very new. And how I came to be in this position is actually Venerable Bhikkhuni said, how did you get into this position? Actually, my father, some 12 years ago, asked me one summer for my husband and myself to take on more responsibility of Dharma College. It was very difficult for me because my love and my heart connection is here in Asia. And it was very difficult for me to transfer my mind to the West, even though I was brought up in the West. I was brought up in Berkeley, went to Western high school, American education, but my heart was so connected to the Sangha, to the Mahasangha, because of my work with the Tipitaka chanting. Most of my work was like a secretary and working closely with the monks and nuns. And so that was a very big change for me, to be asked to do something in my own city where I was born. And I didn't realize how challenging this request would be for me, because my passport is American, and of course I have a great dedication to my father's wishes. But it took me several years to really understand why this role was important. Actually, a few years. In fact, the previous director, who was a very accomplished lawyer, and her husband, they both worked together as a team, was a constitutional lawyer at UC Berkeley. So they're very educated people. And I don't consider myself very educated. I see myself as just a worker and just in service. But first thing, one of the previous directors said, do you only wear white? Because she was dressed in the suit, in the Western professional suit to go to the office. And I said, well, every year I'm going to temple, most people are wearing white. So my uniform is changing. And she said, I think you need to change your color. You know, in the West, we think that's a little funny for you to every day wear white colors. So those kinds of things I didn't understand until people were seeing me. Another example was when we were having the meeting in the early days about how to describe the mission of Dharma College, because you have to create the mission, you have to create the values that you stand for. And so I would call the meeting with our faculty, and the meeting was running for hours, which I'm fine with. I don't mind to sit in the meeting for hours, but everyone had a different idea. This one was very unusual for me because when I would sit with the monks and nuns, basically there would be one idea and everyone would basically say sadhu, you know? And if someone said something else, then people would look and say, oh, what are they saying? It was different way of holding a meeting. So I gradually learned that people had so many opinions and so many ideas of how to do the things. This was a challenge, but even now, after 12 years, I see that I'm still learning. Now, I would like to share with you really about America and what I have learned so you can see and reflect, because many of you will be possibly traveling to the States by invitation or giving talks in different settings. So I'd like to share with you what I have learned. America is shifting from a religious affiliation to spiritual searching. And I would say this because I have two kids. They're now 22 and 23 and 21. And they are interested in spirituality, but they're not so interested in the religious side, even though their parents are very interested in the tradition and the root of tradition. But in the United States, people are interested in the spirituality, not so much in the tradition. There's also a rise of practice-centered and personal spirituality. What do I mean by that? There was one lady from Apple, you know, the phone Apple, right? So we were asked to speak at Apple. They have a group of about 200 followers inside Apple. They meet regularly, mostly on practice and meditation. So they asked me to speak. And I met this lady who was a very qualified doctorate engineer. And she said, I would like to know basic essence, you know, the essence of the teachings, so I can basically get what I want and then apply it in my daily life. So the attention is getting different parts of spirituality and making it personal, right? So not necessarily following a guru, not necessarily following a tradition, but really, in fact, getting things from Google, getting things from different meditation teachers, and combining it to personal attention. So this is also another thing that we all need to pay attention, because that's a different kind of tradition than, for example, in Sri Lanka. When I go to the temple, I'm going there with my heart open to the peace of going to the temple and seeing the monks and nuns, and that is so traditional. But that may not be the case in America. Even though we have a beautiful building that says Dharma College, and people ask me, what does Dharma mean? So I have to be very open to that, because in a way in the West, it's new. It's only less than 100 years. So it's like a lotus just beginning to open up. And basically the Dharma, as I understand it, is based on one's experience. And we need to let people understand the truth of the Dharma based on their experience. That way, maybe the language is rooted in tradition, but how they interpret it or how they experience it has to be based in practical experience. So the other thing is to share that there is indeed a crisis of meaning, a crisis of meaning. Kids, my two young adult kids are really searching for meaning, you know, and they're not unusual. That in the West, even though you have great material advantages, they're still wondering, what is the meaning of this all, right? So that is very key, the meaning. Anxiety. There's a great sense of anxiety also. And that's why people are turning to meditation. And so many people are frustrated with their lives, so they have to find new ways to calm the mind. There's another sense of belonging. They want to join a community. So there's a sense of isolation, individuality. But how can I belong to a community? So what does Dharma College really position itself? I had to learn very much by observing, almost like an anthropologist, seeing the situation in my own hometown. It took one phone call from one monk because it was very confusing for me. I was sitting in my office, a very big desk, very big building, and trying to see how to bring Dharma to the people in the heart of downtown Berkeley. And one monk sent a message to his devotee and he said, please tell Wamo at lunchtime to go walking in the streets and look at people's faces. So I took his advice and I started looking at people's faces. And I was so surprised. People were not smiling. People were so blank, almost like a zombie, walking with their bag or walking from place to place. There was no life there. Now, here in India, there's so much life, right? There's so much activity, there's so much joy, there's so much spirit here. But I feel sad getting back to my office. Because I said, anyone, welcome into the hall. Would and open the conversation. This is the Buddha. Please come to our open house. Please come and programs are to really get them into a one-year program, which is essentially is Abhidhamma, but in a modern way, without using religious language. Others college. I feel like Dharma college is so much on the learning, almost like a startup. What are we learning? To put them in a box to say, I am this. So 70% of US adults are spiritual in some way. What are some of the characteristics of spiritual but not religious Americans? They often prefer direct experience to inherited doctrine. So what does that mean? They want to experience, have a taste for that spiritual experience rather than being told, oh, this is what Jesus said, or this is what Muhammad told me to do, practice 5 times a day, or what the Buddha said even. But they really have to see it in their own lives. How does that impact them directly? That there's also another component for the young youth, that they're interested in ecology. They're interested in the environment, connecting to nature. So the nature carries spiritual significance. 59% say connection with nature is essential. So you'll see retreats in nature. You'll see people going out in retreats to the forests, all kinds of unusual ways to connect with nature and their own spirituality. And also, many people still believe in the higher power, the soul, or the unseen spiritual forces, but outside of the traditional labels. And I mention this because here we are in Bodh Gaya, probably the most spiritually traditional place. But in Berkeley, which I'm trying to bring some of that tradition, we have to also understand the current landscape. This is not indifference. It is a search for authenticity without dogmatic enclosure, which means that we need to be open and study carefully how do we bring these teachings to the people in order for them to really understand. So practice is becoming more personal. It's mixed and portable, like I said. 44% pray. Did I continue?
Can we bring the portable speaker? Because we have only I think
1 minute.
about 5 minutes.
Oh, okay, sure. Sure.
Can you?
I can definitely speak to the last few slides. So basically, practice is becoming much more personalized. So and portable, because what does everyone have? An iPhone, right? So there's all kinds of applications that are now coming up. In fact, I was talking to some people who had some very interesting ideas about how the Bible on the app has the largest number of online users. I think close to 1 billion people are downloading something called the Bible app. So now they're creating We Buddha app. I believe it's called We Buddha. It's to assemble all of the teachings of the Buddha on one platform. In fact, for the Abhidhamma this year, we're going to use that. So it'll be a daily, according to Abhidhamma, we can download one part of the teaching and learn that. So we're trying to also learn from that. So you can see technology is really, it's here. Hello? Yeah, technology is here. And it's here for advancing very fast, very, very fast. So we have to pay attention to that. It's not to say that the tradition is lost, but we have to know so we can be strong and be there for people who are looking for spirituality. I just want to, there are many other slides with facts according to Pew Research, but just to share with you at the end why Dharma College exists. Dharma College exists because we want people to understand the significance of mind and self. Not because we want people to become egotistical or to, we want them to understand the truth of suffering. We want them to understand that everything is impermanent and ultimately that everything is an illusion, shunyata, right? But we have to lead them gradually to where they are in their daily life. And so Dharma College, as I am the director, I feel very committed to bringing this to people's lives where it is practical. It makes a difference because you're very blessed to be in the role as a bhikkhu and a bhikkhuni because you have already decided that samsara is something to walk away from. No longer you would like to be with samsara, right? But for us as lay people, we have samsara every day that we have to face. And how do we walk step by step with Dharma in our heart? Knowing that the Buddha's teachings are ultimately the final destination. But samsara is with us everywhere, and distraction is with us everywhere. So we hope that we will learn more year by year of how to communicate this to the people. And we are very much in the early stages of this. And we open our doors. Our professors are very qualified. They have their doctorate degrees. They've been very interested in Dharma. But we need to find ways to connect. And I don't think I have the solution. I'm just the person who opens the door and says, welcome, please come in and let us see how we can go together. I would like to also explore how we can bring some of the more traditional teachings in the summertime. So that's a conversation that we can have later with some of the venerable bhikkhunis who, like Ayatata Loka, she's close by. And so that's something that I need to do. But thank you so much, Venerable, for giving me this opportunity. I don't think I have much to say or offer, but just to say that it is a challenge and the world is changing so fast. And we're just trying to be an open door for anyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is for the sharing how to spread Dharma in downtown Berkeley.
Thank you.
So recently, I also get a branch in Houston.
Oh,
I just I just came from Houston to Delhi.
Wow,
And then today,
so
I hope that one day I can visit your Dharma college
yes,
and then can see and can learn what you are doing there.
yes.
Because we also have Dharma class on Sunday afternoon
Oh,
Yes.
in Houston.
in Houston.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, we have one monastery there, new one.
Oh,
This
wonderful.
started in December.
Oh,
Yes, so
excellent.
We are impressed with what the skillful means you are
Yeah.
doing there to calm them, to invite them in, and
Mm,
just sit for some minutes so that they can experience the blessing of meditation,
yes,
how to calm down the mind,
yes,
and then they will come again
yes,
to learn more.
yes.
So it's not easy.
It's not
You are-
easy.
You are trying to make it good effort.
Thank you, thank you,
You are presenting some strength.
thank
Yes,
you.
and thank you so much, everyone,
Thank you.
for being patient with us until now. And now we have a break of 5 minutes, and then we will have a closing ceremony.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, sister. Give us some gifts for
Yes, yes. Yeah. We also would like to give you one. Oh, sadhu.
It begins with like to have a translation of what Sister One has did. So, Bhimini Vandana is going to explain it briefly what the Sister One has explained about the knowledge. So, the Bhimini Vandana आप लोगों को पढ़ने के लिए उनका जैसे मामले में बताया कि जैसे इंडिया में लोग धर्म में बहुत मानते हैं ये धर्म से वो तो आप कभी भी गए हैं तो उधर ये नहीं धर्म को इसमें जाएंगे ये क्या है फिर वेस्टर्न कंट्री है तो वो लोग ये नहीं बोले कि मैं इस्लाम से अभी की जो न्यू जनरेशन है कभी नहीं बोलती कि मैं इस्लाम से तो ये बात बहुत मुझे अच्छी लगी कि ये रियल में है इंडिया में तो ऐसा है कि बच्चा पैदा हुआ तो माँ बाप बताते हैं कि मेरी माँ इस नाम से हो करके वो बच्चा फिर उसी मायने में रहता है कि माँ क्या है और फिर वहाँ से कोई रोजी काम नहीं करता
बट वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज में है कि जैसे वो एजुकेशन लेते हैं तो वो क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं कि ऐसा क्यों, तो वो उनमें श्रद्धा है पर धर्म में नहीं मानते है ना, मतलब मेडिटेशन करना है पर वो नहीं बोलेंगे कि मैं बुद्धिस्ट हूँ, पर वो प्रैक्टिस करेंगे, है ना। तो अभी जैसे कोई स्कूल में पढ़ रहा है तो स्कूल, हाँ मैं स्कूल में पढ़ाई कर रहा हूँ पर मैं ये स्कूल से हूँ ऐसा नहीं बोलेंगे, हम लोग अक्सर थोड़ी ना बोलेंगे कि मैं ये स्कूल से हूँ करके, तो वही बोल रहे। और मेरा खुद का भी एक्सपीरियंस, अभी मैं धर्मशाला में थी शिविर के लिए, तो वहां पे भी कुछ फॉरेनर्स जो थे उन्होंने क्वेश्चन किया कि भाई ये जातिवाद क्यों, हम लोग जातिवाद में तो नहीं मानते, धर्म में तो बिल्कुल नहीं मानते, हम लोग तो उन लोग का बोलना था मैं इस यहाँ से आया हूँ, यहाँ से आया हूँ। क्रिश्चियनिटी मैंने एक्सप्लोर की है, उसमें से जो मुझे अच्छा लगा, जैसे भगवान बुद्ध ने पूरा एक्सप्लोर किया था और जो अच्छा लगा वो गुण उन्होंने लिए, तो वैसे ही वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज के लोगों के विचार है कि हमें जो भी अच्छा लगता है हम वो उस धर्म में से ले लेते हैं, पर वो धर्म का लेबल नहीं लेते, है ना। तो वही बता रहे कि ये बहुत मुश्किल है कि आज के जनरेशन लोग को इस ट्रेडिशन में लाना कि हाँ मैं बुद्धिस्ट हूँ। नहीं, आप अगर बोलोगे कि ओके ये आप बुद्धिस्ट बनना पड़ेगा तो वो नहीं आएंगे। आप सिर्फ बताओगे ठीक है आप सीखो तो वो आएंगे। तो अभी वो बता रहे कि जैसे उनका धर्मा कॉलेज है, उन्होंने बताया कि वो मैं वहां पे उनके धर्म कॉलेज में जाके आई हूँ। वहां पे इंडिया में आने के पहले हमारे धम्मधारिणी मोनास्ट्री में कुछ 6 और 7 अरहंत भिक्षुनियों के धातु आए थे श्रीलंका से। तो हम लोगों ने वो लोगों को दिखाने के लिए उनके धर्मा कॉलेज में प्रोग्राम किया था, और तभी मैंने उनका कॉलेज देखा। एंड बहुत सुंदर है। फर्स्ट फ्लोर है और सेकंड फ्लोर पे उनका पूरा जो विहार जैसा उन्होंने बनाया हुआ है, जहाँ पे 300 लोग कैपेबल मतलब बैठ सकते हैं, मेडिटेशन कर सकते हैं। वहाँ पे बुक्स है, लाइब्रेरी है कि आप लोग जाके वहाँ पे मेडिटेशन कर सकते हैं और साथ में पढ़ भी सकते हैं। और साथ में ही उसी फ्लोर पे आसपास में रूम्स हैं, और उस रूम के भी नाम बहुत अच्छे अच्छे उन्होंने नाम दिए गए हैं। आई रियली लाइक दैट। सो एक कोई रूम का नाम है करुणा, कोई रूम का नाम है कि जिंदगी कैसे जी जाए, है ना। तो मतलब हर एक रूम का नाम है, तो फिर आपको जिस हिसाब से आपको इंटरेस्ट है आप उस रूम में जाके बैठिए और आपको वहां पे आके बताया जाएगा कि हाँ आपको ये करना है या वो करना है। तो उसका जो एक एटमोस्फियर है, यूनिवर्सिटी मतलब कॉलेज कम पर एक प्योर हम बोलेंगे कि एक विहार जैसा है, पूरा वाइब्रेशंस सेम है, क्योंकि वहां पे एक्टिविटीज जो है धम्म की होते रहती है। तो अभी उन्होंने बताया कि उनके जो पिता है, तो उनके पिता को उनसे बहुत एक्सपेक्टेशंस है। तो उन्होंने उनको बोला कि भाई तुम अभी धम्म को आगे लेके जाने के लिए थोड़ी सी और ज्यादा अपनी जो है जवाबदारी लो, है ना। तो तब पहले धर्मा कॉलेज कोई और हैंडल करते थे, प्रिंसिपल वगैरह कोई और था, वाइस प्रेसिडेंट वगैरह। तो अभी रिसेंटली वो दोनों हस्बैंड वाइफ धर्मा कॉलेज को पूरा हैंडल करते हैं। तो उन्होंने बताया कि वो एक चैलेंज था, जैसे कि अभी जो न्यू जनरेशन है वो तो अभी धर्म में तो मानते नहीं। अभी कॉलेज का नाम ही है धर्मा कॉलेज, है ना। स्टार्ट कहाँ से होता है, धर्मा। तो सबको प्रश्न पड़ता है कि भाई धर्मा है क्या, है ना। तो अभी जो लोग बोलते हैं कि हम धर्म में नहीं मानते, तो उनको बताना ये थोड़ा सा मुश्किल हो जाता। तो ये लोग क्या बोलते हैं कि भाई जिंदगी कैसे जी जाए ये इसमें सिखाया जाता है। तो इनको पता नहीं था कि अब कैसे हैंडल करे ये पूरा जो यूनिवर्सिटी है, क्योंकि उनको तो पता नहीं है। यहाँ पे जैसे उन्होंने बताया कि संघ के साथ में जब बैठे हैं, तो अगर कोई डिस्कशन चल रहा है, तो अगर एक संघ में से किसी ने एक ने बोल दिया कि हम ऐसा करेंगे, तो सब क्या बोलेंगे, साधु साधु, है ना। पर जब वहां पे मीटिंग में वो लोग बैठते हैं तो सब नए नए विचार बता रहे हैं कि नहीं नहीं ऐसा नहीं ऐसा होना चाहिए, वैसा नहीं वैसा होना चाहिए। तो वो ना बहुत दुविधा में पड़ गए थे कि सबके अलग अलग विचार है। संघ के साथ में तो कैसा एक विचार आ गया और संघ ने साधुवाद कर दिया, हो गया। पर अभी मीटिंग में बैठे तो सब लोग अलग 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 ओपिनियन दे रहे हैं, तो थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूज हो गए कि कैसे करें। तो उनके कोई फ्रेंड है, तो उन फ्रेंड के माध्यम से एक भिक्षु ने उनको एक सलाह दी कि आप एक काम कीजिए कि खाना खाने के बाद में, दोपहर का खाना खाने के बाद में थोड़ा सा बाहर जाइए, बाहर घूमिए और देखिए आसपास का माहौल। तो उन्होंने मतलब वो सलाह मानी और खाना खाने के बाद में बाहर घूमने के लिए गए। तो उन्होंने देखा कि बाहर में लोग घूम रहे हैं, चल रहे हैं। मतलब वो जो एरिया है इनका कॉलेज जहाँ पे है वो पूरा मतलब कॉलेज का ही एरिया है, वहाँ पे पूरे स्टूडेंट ही आपको दिखेंगे। तो उन्होंने बताया कि जैसे स्टूडेंट है तो किसी के भी चेहरे पे खुशी नहीं है, प्रसन्नता नहीं है, मतलब कोई हंस नहीं रहा है, सबके चेहरे जो है वो मुरझाए हुए हैं। और ऐसा लग रहा है कि वो जो मरा हुआ इंसान चल रहा है ना उसकी तरह मतलब सब दिख रहे हैं। तो अभी वो सब देखने के बाद वो अपने ऑफिस में आए, और ऑफिस में आने के बाद उन्होंने सोचा कि अरे ये तो क्या हो रहा है ना आसपास में, कैसे किया जाए। तो तो वो बोल रहे कि ओके इट्स दैट ओके। तो वो बोल रहे कि अगर अगर वो इंडिया में देखते हैं ना, तो इंडिया में लोगों के चेहरे पे प्रसन्नता है, लोग हमेशा खुश है, को कुछ भी चीजों पर वो हमेशा हंसते रहेंगे, खिलखिलाते रहेंगे, एक दूसरे से बात करते रहेंगे। पर वहां पे जब उन्होंने देखा ना, कोई एक दूसरे के सामने देख नहीं रहा है, कोई एक दूसरे से बात नहीं कर रहा है, कोई हंस नहीं रहा है, तो उनके विचार मन में है कि ये क्या जिंदगी जी रहे हैं, है ना। तो इसलिए फिर उनको एक प्रोत्साहन मिले कि हाँ, हम लोगों ने धर्मा कॉलेज में कैसे काम करना चाहिए करके। तो अभी उन्होंने बताया कि जैसे टिबेटन ट्रेडिशन है, टिबेटन ट्रेडिशन में से वो वज्रयाना, और उसमें निग्मा ट्रेडिशन से वो है, मतलब थेरावादा से नहीं है। तो ये टिबेटन ट्रेडिशन में भी अलग अलग प्रकार है, निग्मा, खाग्यो, इफ आई एम करेक्ट, ये सो इसमें भी टिबेटन में भी ट्रेडिशन है अलग अलग। तो ये निग्मा ट्रेडिशन है, तो उनके लिए भी थोड़ा सा कठिन है कि थेरावादा संघ में आना और डील करना, क्योंकि सबके मतलब नियम वगैरह कैसे अलग है। तो उन्होंने वही बताया कि उनके भी दो बच्चे हैं, एक लड़का है उनका, एक लड़की है। जो लड़का जो 23 साल का है, वो लड़की 21 साल की है। तो वो दोनों भी उतने धार्मिक नहीं है। वो लोग मेडिटेशन करते हैं, ओके, स्पिरिचुअल मतलब जो बोलेंगे कि हाँ आध्यात्मिकता है, पर धार्मिक नहीं है कि ओके मैं इस धर्म से हूँ करके। तो वो लोग बोलते हैं कि कभी कभी मेरे लिए भी डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है कि मेरे खुद के बच्चों को समझाना है। आई थिंक हम सब लोग इससे रिलेटेड करते हैं कि हम लोग धर्म में है, बट हमारे खुद की फैमिली नहीं सुनती है। आई थिंक ऑल आर रिलेटेड दैट वी आर इन द पाथ, बट इट्स रियली डिफिकल्ट टू एक्सप्लेन आवर ओन फैमिली। तो वो वही बता रहे हैं कि आज की जो जनरेशन है उसको बताना बहुत मुश्किल है कि हाँ भाई आपको ये धर्म। तो वो क्या कर रहे हैं कि किसी को धम्म का लेबल न लगा के, सिर्फ उनको जो धम्म की क्वालिटीज है कि इसमें से आप कैसे अच्छी चीजें ले सकते हैं। जैसे मेडिटेशन है, तो मेडिटेशन करके अपना माइंड शांत कैसे कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि लोग आज की दुनिया में है सिर्फ भागे जा रहे हैं, भागे जा रहे हैं अपने लिए, खुद के लिए उनके पास टाइम ही नहीं है। मतलब आधा घंटा भी कोई खुद के लिए निकालता नहीं है। तो वो बोल रहे हैं कि, और आज की जनरेशन कैसी है, वो क्या लॉजिक चाहिए, है ना। अगर उसमें लॉजिक नहीं है तो वो एक्सेप्ट नहीं करता। अगर आप बोलोगे हाँ ये बुद्ध ने बोला है इसलिए करो, तो बोलेंगे नहीं। वो तो सब अभी हम जहाँ पे मेडिटेशन के लिए थी, तो हम लोग का ग्रुप डिस्कशन होता था वहां पे। तो वहां पे कुछ वेस्टर्न्स थे, तो वो लोग, उन लोगों ने क्या बोला कि ये हर धर्म में उनके गुरु है या टीचर, जो भी देवी है, वो कुछ ना कुछ ऐसा बताते हैं कि आप उसको पकड़ के रखो, मतलब उस धर्म को पकड़ के रखो। तो इसलिए हमको किसी भी धर्मवाद में नहीं पढ़ना है। हाँ, मुझे अगर बुद्धिज्म में से ये अच्छा लगा तो मैंने ये ले लिया, मुझे क्रिश्चियनिज्म में से ये अच्छा लगा मैंने ले लिया, मुसलमान में से ये अच्छा लगा मैंने मुस्लिम से ये ले लिया। तो वो सब क्या कर रहे, सिर्फ एक एक छोटी छोटी चीजें उसमें से ले रहे जो उनको अच्छी लगी है। तो इंडिया में तो कैसा है, आप अगर इंडिया में किसी को बोलोगे हाँ ये बुद्ध ने बोला है आप करो, तो हाँ बोलेंगे ठीक है भगवान बुद्ध ने बोला है, भगवान है ना, उन्होंने बोला तो हम लोग कर लिए। तो वेस्टर्न कंट्री में ऐसा होता बिल्कुल भी नहीं है। तो वो वही बता रहे कि कितनी कठिनाइयां है। अगर जब बोले कि धर्मा का कॉलेज आगे लेके जाना है, धर्मा कॉलेज, तो धर्म से ही शुरू हो रहा है ना, नाम डायरेक्ट धर्म है, तो कैसे लोगों को लाया जाए। तो वो बता रहे कि अभी धीरे धीरे उन लोगों के यहाँ पे मेडिटेशन का सेशन होता है, हफ्ते में एक बार मेडिटेशन सिखाया जाता है, धम्म के देशना वगैरह होती है। तो इस हिसाब से लोगों को बुलाया जाता है। अभी मैंने जैसे बताया कि सेकंड फ्लोर पे उनकी पूरा विहार टाइप का है, वहां पे भगवान बुद्ध की स्टेचू है। तो लोग जब अंदर आते हैं ना, तो फिर उस स्टेचू देख के बोलते अरे ये तो बहुत सुंदर है, किसकी मूर्ति है, किसकी प्रतिमा है। तो फिर वो बताते कि अरे ये तो भगवान बुद्ध है ना। तो फिर उस तरीके से कैसा छोटे सी चीज से वो कन्वर्सेशन चालू हो जाती, बातचीत शुरू हो जाती है कि हाँ ये भगवान बुद्ध है, तो फिर उन्होंने क्या बताया है, उनका उपदेश क्या है। तो फिर वो इंसान को पूरा उस धम्म में लाके डुबो देते कि हाँ भाई ये भगवान बुद्ध ने बताया है, अब आप आके सीखिए इस चीज को। तो मुझे लगता है कि ये जो पॉइंट्स है ना, ये बहुत जरूरी है। हमारे इंडिया में हम लोग बहुत बहुत करते हैं कि हाँ भगवान बुद्ध ने बोला है ना, करना ही करना है, हम लोग फोर्स करते हैं। एक्चुअली ये फोर्स है ना, जबरदस्ती कि आप करो। बट नहीं, जैसे भगवान बुद्ध ने भी बोला ना कि आप तर्क वितर्क करो, अगर आपको लगता है तो आप एक्सेप्ट करो, राइट। पर हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, अरे भगवान बुद्ध ने बोला है ना आपको करना ही करना है। पर अगर फोर्सफुली करोगे तो वो इंसान को थोड़ा सा भी उंगली पकड़ी है ना तो छोड़ देगा, हाथ पकड़ते पकड़ते वो छोड़ देगा। तभी वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज में तो ये बहुत स्ट्रांगली है कि आप कहीं पे भी ऐसा नहीं बोल सकते कि भगवान बुद्ध ने बोला है, बिल्कुल भी नहीं। वो आपको पूछेंगे ओके साइकोलॉजी में क्या बोला जाए, कैसे आप इसको प्रूफ करोगे, है ना? बायोलॉजी में कैसे प्रूफ करोगे? जो पढ़े लिखे हैं वो पूछेंगे, हाँ क्वांटम फिजिक्स है उसमें कैसे प्रूफ करोगे कि ये बुद्ध ने बोला गया है? तो ये हमारे यहाँ पे बात चीज नहीं होती है कि हाँ इससे कैसे प्रूफ करोगे, तो हाँ भगवान बुद्ध ने बोला हो गया है. सो आई रियली एंजॉय योर टॉक रियली, बिकॉज I had this experience when I was in Dharamsala recently. I was in a meditation retreat, and there were some students who were exploring the Buddhist, and they were like, we only like few points, and we only accept that, but we don't accept the Buddhism. I will not call myself a religion person, like a spiritual person. So I was like, when you say that, I was like, that's the point, because like they will ask me, this is physically how you, and they was like, you prove it quantum physics, how you prove it biologically. And I was like, that's the thing, I never thought about that, because like in India we don't have that kind of stuff, but I think Western people do think like that a lot about how you prove it, and if you prove it, then they will uh, accept it. So yeah, they see Buddhism as a logical, not like any religion. I really like it. Thank you. Thank you. So,
And see, now we can start the closing ceremony.
Bhante Shivli cannot come. He's busy in condolence prayer online. Okay.
So should we invite, the ceremony on the stage? Yes. Okay, so.
Bhante, actually, Shivli Bhante was supposed to come for closing ceremony. But Bhante sent me a message that he's busy in online prayer. So he cannot avoid that. Yeah. So Bhante asked me to invite you for the
What should I do? What should I do?
You have to speak a few words, blessing word, Bhante, blessing.
Okay, nothing
Blessings.
else, huh?
Yeah, blessings. It's a blessing. Yes. मैंने बोलने से नहीं, आप पाली में मेरे साथ संवाद.
Satimanta to kindly bestow his blessings for the successful completion of this today's gathering.
अभी इसके भंते जी का ब्लेसिंग होने के बाद में मेरा एक छोटा सा चैंटिंग है, तो मैंने यहाँ पे किया हुआ है ये वाला. ओके, इसको शेयर करना स्लाइड पे ऐसे. ओके. We need more chairs.
On this, let's start our closing ceremony. So on behalf of the participants, we would like to invite you to lead the message to the conference. Blessed name, standing short process.
Blessing Chandra.
Please put your phone in the silent mode.
Behalf of Mahasangha, may you all be free from all the mental sufferings and physical sufferings. May you all be healthy, happy, and achieve your all the eternal goals. Sabbhiyo vajjantu sabbaro vinasatu mate bhavatvamparayo sukhi dikhayo bhavatu sabba mangalam radhantu sabba devata sabba buddha bhavena sada sukhhi bhavantu te bhavatu sabba mangalam radhantu sabba devata sabba dhammanubbhavena sada sukhhi bhavantu te bhavatu sabba mangalam radhantu sabba devata sabba sanghanubbhavena sada sukhhi bhavantu te. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Join me. I'll have something more because to join me. Sanjay. Now we will chant a few words from Devidara for the flourishing of the Bhikkhuni Sangha. अब हम भिखुनी संघ की उन्नति के लिए तेरी गाथा में से कुछ वाक्य पढ़ेंगे. आप स्क्रीन पर भी देख सकते हैं. आप आंख से मेरे साथ में संवाद कर सकते हैं. नमो तस्से भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्से. नमो तस्से भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्से. नमो तस्से भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्से. Yantam isi pattakam halandur visambhavam natam dvangulapanyaya sakapappotu nitya iti bhavanomi karira cittam hi susamahite. Jnanam hi vartamanam hi sammadhammam vipassito sapartha vihitanandi tamokhanto padanito evam janani pativam nihato dvamasi anattamati chiram tirthantu sattamo lokasmin bhavatu sada bhikkhuni sangho virumato
Silasamahipanyaya Sabadhammadipena Lokasahitam Sukhamircha. The Marasena, that which can be, Marasena said to Somatiri, that which can be attained by sheer ascetic. The stage that is so hard to reach cannot be attained by a woman with her wisdom as small as 2 fingers. But Bhikkhuni Somatiri said to Marasena, how does being a woman have anything to do with a well-collected mind when knowledge is present and one sees rightly into the Dhamma? In this way, all fixation is annihilated, the mass of darkness destroyed. Thus, be aware, wicked one, that you are destroyed. May the true Dhamma endure long in the world. May the Bhikkhuni Sangha flourish through virtue, concentration, and wisdom for the welfare of all beings. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the who already gave us the same for this conclude conference. Now we have short speeches with international and local companies. So I would like to invite the first one, Venerable Bhumika Devi, to give with a speech about how is your experience about this conference, this today's conference.
2 to 3 minutes.
For 2 to 3 minutes each. Because we have many speakers, so we have
Top down.
to share their
Sati, top down, downstairs.
Please have that assembly. So, if you have only 2 to 3 minutes, please.
Thank you, Sister Liễu, to give us good words. Starting by asking feedback on students about the 2000. And Sister Liễu since 2012. She invited me for the Shambhavi and Bhikkhuni ordination program preparation. We were together for 6 months in Mahaprajapati, Vietnamese nunnery. I'm observing her struggles working to establish the Bhikkhuni Sangha in India since then. For example, I want to give one example. Since 2012, now it's 2006. So how many years and how many assembly and how many gatherings we had here and Nagpur and different places. Sisters struggle a lot. I see now a few new bhikkhunis like our bhikkhuni, senior bhikkhuni Sumangala from Malaysia and Shantini from Indonesia and Vijitananda from Bhikkhuni Vijitananda from Sri Lanka and Dhamma Shantini also now this year. But since I know means I have come back from Taiwan and Sri Lanka after my studies, I have seen only Sister Liễu struggling. Every time I see her struggles with that smiling face. Every time she says, "Oh, Bhikkhuni." Actually, we don't call each other Bhikkhuni. we always address each other sister, sister. So her disciple in Vietnam, one of them asked her, why do you call our master sister? Why don't you call her, address her as IA? I thought, no, I. So should I change my habit to call you IA? She said, no, 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 you call sister. It's very, the connection is very strong. Actually, as a teacher and a disciple, that connection is very important. Sometimes we argue. Sometimes, sister, for small things, when I ask some questions or I reply in a rude way, she says me that you have a lot of ego. Then I say, okay, sister, whatever. But this thing is that she's teaching me something. What she's teaching me. That is very important. But what she has criticized me, or she's saying that I am like this or like that, it doesn't matter, because her intention is that to teach me. So now here we in Maharashtra, or especially Maharashtra. I am from Hyderabad. I am the only Theravada Bhikkhuni there. But in Maharashtra, there are many bhikkhunis. Every time I hear the story of what the teacher is very strict, or something is there and the student has left, disciple has left. So there is something, the communication gap. Even where there is a language, there is no difficult for language, because all the Maharashtra bhikkhunis and all they speak the same language, Marathi. Whereas we come in Telangana, their people have different, they are Marathi Buddhists, they are Telugu Buddhists, and they are the Barwa Bengali, and they are Chakma. There are so many communities there, the Buddhists. So it's very difficult to bring them together because of that language problem. But whereas in the Maharashtra, this all are speaking the same language, but still there is a difficulty in the communication between the teacher and the student. So that is the reason I think that most of the educated bhikkhunis, from Sri Lanka, I know only this Buddha Kanya, Bhikkhuni Buddha Kanya and Bhikkhuni Rupananda. They are living alone. And I know Katyani, but Katyani is not well fluent in English, but she is also living alone. And there are so many here, bhikkhunis are they're living lonely, lonely, lonely. So what is the reason? The reason is the teacher and the student, the communication. So I will share one incident. On 5th, I arrived, 4th evening, I arrived here, and the 5th morning, I went to meet our Mahaprajapati Nannari here, the branches here, Katorva. So I went to, on the way, I saw one girl, like age 14 or 15. She is sitting on the road, on the road, and she's crying. So I told Katyani, see, this is the Buddha's land. Here, so many monasteries are the Buddhist monasteries, so many ceremonies are going on. This is a very pure land. Why these local people are still not affected? Why they are not improved? Why there is no change in them? There are so many NGOs and so many monasteries, Japanese, Vietnamese, they have opened the schools for the children in the villages. But still, why there is no any improvement, then how about us, Katyani, where we are living very far from this holy land? Where that land in the Telangana, all are Hindus, and they are the Hindus who are strongly the believer of this caste system. They always fight and kill each other. Even because of that caste, they cannot marry each other. This.
This one we discussed in our workshop.
Yeah, sister. This is. Yeah, this is no, sister. This is connected. Hmm.
Now,
I will conclude, sister. Yeah, yeah. So after arriving the Mahaprajapati Nannari, so just the same matter we discussed. So the nun there, she said that because sister, these children,
I said in the school they teach them Panchashila and everything, meditation. But these children, after they go home, they spend more time with the parents. So there is no any positive effect. Again, the next day they come back, they are the same. So here also, this why I have told this story is because our nuns also from the Maharashtra, actually the background, from where the background they are coming, and how the teacher's background, that is the reason is the training. The training, when they are giving the training, if they continue staying in one place, like a year or 2 year with the teacher, or 3 year, then it will become a habit for that student maintain and how to behave because she will continue learn from the teacher. So this education in action. So the teacher who is training the shamanary, that teacher should be well trained. That is very important. And that thing I have seen from Sister Leopa, and I really very thank her because every time there is any difficulty, she's always solving that matter with very wisely. So this international gathering, I wish other who are present here, you also the teachers, be an yeah.
Now I would like to invite for short speech from Canada, City. Respected Bhikkhu Sangha, Bhikkhuni Sangha, brothers and sisters in Dhamma. So as our conference is coming to a conclusion, please allow me to express my gratitude for having the opportunity to join this conference. We just conducted this in this very beautiful location, just some steps away from the place of this life. So they also have the chance to enter the state of the tree and join the extraordinary event at the same time. A huge thank you to Mahabodhi Society for allowing us to organize this event, provide space, and covering the needs of the communities and all participants during this program. Thank you to all the volunteers currently here at this and also the technical part of the event. So the topic of this conference was the education in action, and during the last 2 days, we could listen to many valued speakers and presenters, many of which have great experience in organizing Navajo communities, community events, and a wide range of educational events, those interactions with great communities. So I think it is very fortunate for us that the Vanderbilts have shared their crisis experience and they learned about many challenges and also future possibilities for the community in India and other countries. For example, we learned about the lack of educational centers and network for supporting economies and how this problem can be solved. We discussed the meaning of Buddhist education, which is not limited to study texts and concepts, but also includes cultivating wisdom, developing skills to interact inside the monastic community and also the skills for communal life and understanding how apply Buddhist knowledge to modern basic problems. They also heard inspiring success stories that showed us that with determination, wisdom, and cooperation, the revival and development of Bhikkhuni education is indeed possible. So, as for myself, I am from Russia, but since 2013 for all of my elective life. I never have lived in my home country. I always lived in Southeast Asia, so I always had to rely on kindness, hospitality, and compassion from other communities. So even though it is like this, for me, it's actually the first time to attend an international community conference or any kind of community conference. And I feel this kind of event provides very valuable inspiration for us to live our daily monastic life more effectively. So finally, on this occasion, we could meet many venerables from different countries and share experience with each other, realizing that despite we come from different locations in different countries, still we share one aspiration. It is to preserve and to live the Buddhist Dharma for the benefit of many beings. So I hope that in the future, many similar events can take place on this sacred site. And once again, thank you to all the organizers, teachers, presenters, participants, and also volunteers who have contributed their energy, time, and wisdom to this event. Thank you very much. May I respectfully invite Venerable Kantisati Mata and yeah, to kindly come to give question and certificate and give to Sister 1.6. So, Sister, please come up this stage. And please,
Yes, I can take it. It's a souvenir. Thank you so much for coming. Yes, yes, please come here.
now I would like to invite others Venerable to give short speech. Samaneri Ambakari, please come on stage.
Respected Bhikkhuni Sangha and Bhikkhu Center, I felt very happy to inspire to join the World Bhikkhuni Sangha Assembly. It was a wonderful opportunity to gain so much knowledge about how to stay the Bhikkhuni Sangha in India and to build connections with international Bhikkhunis. Meeting and learning from Bhikkhunis from different countries was truly meaningful. I'm very grateful to my teacher, Bhikkhuni Shakya Dhamadina, one of the main organizers, for giving me the opportunity to come here and participate in this important event. Bhikkhuni Satyadhammadina is working very hard for the development of the Bhikkhuni Sangha in India. Many times she does not get enough sleep. Sometimes even proper meals are difficult, and she also receives criticism. Yet she remains very strong and continues her work with great determination and compassion. I also wish to present a paper, but there were already many presenters. This time, I hope to present my research at the next assembly, as I am currently studying a master's in Pali at Nalanda Mahavihar in Nalanda University. This experience will greatly support and enrich my studies. May this conference inspire all of us to become stronger and continue working diligently for the growth and flourishing of the Bhikkhuni Sangha. Thank you very much to everyone who organized this meaningful gathering. Thank you. Thank you.
Next, I would like to invite Venerable Sangamita from Sri Lanka.
Accepted, expected by Bhikkhu Sangha and Bhikkhuni Sangha. Sad. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Bhikkhunis from many countries participated in this program. If we work together, we can reach this Buddha Sasana as well as our Nibbana. I would like to thank the Bhikkhuni who worked so hard for the program. Then, it was beautiful arrangement in this program. We all bless you as well as like these programs encourage us. And being able to work together is great achievement. Unity is strength. Thank you so much, Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, and their peoples, Upasaka, Upasika. Great help to successful in this event. Namo Buddhaya.
For the next speech, I would like to invite please welcome on the stage.
Please come down here.
Kemita.
Please come down here.
Huh?
Oh. I already told us, you know, in the closing ceremony. Okay, invite the next one.
Okay, now it's my turn to give a little bit speech about this 2 days conference. Venerable Bhikkhu, Venerable Bhikkhunis, respect elders, and dear Karalinitas. During these 2 days of the World Bhikkhuni Sangha Assembly, my heart has been deeply moved and inspired. Listening to the presentation from Vinaya as a living path beyond rules to realization, to Bhikkhuni leadership and social engagement, from education in the age of artificial intelligence
to revival of Bhikkhuni education in India, Thailand, and Australia has truly expanded my understanding. They showed us how Vinaya can transform character. For me, this conference is not merely academic. It is deeply touching, inspiring, and motivating. It gives answers to many challenges faced by the Bhikkhuni Sangha today, and it awakens hope for the younger generation. Most of all, I would like to express my deepest respect and gratitude to the senior bhikkhus and senior bhikkhunis who guide us with such compassion. Their mentorship reminds me of the Buddha's teaching, Kalyana Mitata Sabang Brahmacharyang. Spiritual friendship is the whole of the holy life. Through their wisdom, patience, and loving support, the next generation of bhikkhunis is being nurtured. May we continue the trend well in the Tisika Sila Samadhi Panya for the welfare of many beings. So I would like to express my heartfelt reflection through a short poem entitled When the Lotus Rises Again, a reflection for the world Bhikkhuni Sangha Assembly. Venerable bhikkhus, venerable bhikkhunis, respected elders and friends in the Dhamma. In this sacred Bhikkhuni Sangha Assembly, voices from many lands gather, like rivers returning to the ocean. For centuries, the lotus of the Bhikkhuni Sangha struggled for centuries. It waited in silence, but today we gather again. We gather to reflect. We gather to learn. We gather to continue the Buddha's vision. We spoke of Vinaya, not as chains, but as wings. From rules to realization, from learning to liberation. The Buddha reminds us, hero tapa loka pala. Moral conscience and moral conscience are the guardians of the world. This is the heart of education. Not only knowledge, not only scholarship, but character, restraint, mindfulness, the quiet courage to walk the ancient path. Today, we speak of leadership, of guiding the Sangha in the age of artificial intelligence. But beyond every technology, beyond every system, beyond every century, the ancient training still shines. Sila, Samadhi, Panya. If these three remain alive, the Bhikkhuni lineage will shine. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now for the last, I would like to invite Upasika Wajira Chan from Malaysia to give speech about this experience, today's conference.
Good evening to all venerables, ayah, brothers and sisters in the Dharma. I'm Vajira Chan from Arya Vihara, Malaysia. First, I would like to thank the Bhikkhuni Sangha Assembly Committee for inviting me to share a few thoughts of this assembly. I also would like to express my sincere gratitude to my teacher, Ayah Sun Mangala Terry, for giving me the opportunity to serve as a kapya for this event. I first visited India as a pilgrim in 2016. And my second pilgrimage was with Ayah Sumangala in last November. However, this experience has been quite different. As a pilgrim, I visited all the holy sites and learned about the life of the Buddha. However, this trip has allowed me to meet bhikkhunis from many countries. During this event, I have learned a great deal from the speakers about the importance of moral, social, and spiritual education, as well as their dedicated work in supporting the Buddha Sasana. It really inspires me to practice diligently when I see the bhikkhunis have many responsibilities apart from their bhavana practice. Although they come from different countries and cultures, they share the same objective, that is to refrain from doing evil, cultivate goodness, and to purify the mind in accordance to the Buddha's teaching. The World Bhikkhuni Sangha annual gathering is a wonderful opportunity for all bhikkhunis from different countries to come together, exchange ideas, and share updates about their activities at their respective centers. Being here in this holy land, I'm grateful for the opportunity to offer lunch dana to venerables from different countries. Finally, I would like to wish all the venerables good health, continue progress in your spiritual practice and attainment. Thank you.
Now it's my great honor to invite Venerable Liễu for collective aspiration.
Namo Buddhaya. Respected fellow members of the Bhikkhu Sangha, Bhikkhunis Sangha, scholars, and devoted friends, as we come to the closing moments, this gathering, we pause, not only to reflect on what has been shared during these days of dialogue and learning, but also to articulate the collective aspirations that have emerged among us. Throughout this conference on Bhikkhuni education in action, we have heard many voices, voices of experience, voices of scholarship, voices of practice, and voices of hope. Together, they form a living tapestry that reveals both the diversity and the unity of the contemporary Bhikkhuni community across the world. What we have witnessed here is not merely a series of academic discussions. Rather, it is a testament to a historic movement within the Buddhist world, the ongoing flourishing of the Bhikkhuni Sangha, and the renewed commitment to the education, training, and empowerment of women monastics. The Buddha envisioned the dispensation as resting upon the strength of the fourfold assembly, bhikkhus, bhikkhunis, laymen, and laywomen. The vitality of the Dhamma in any era depends upon the harmonious development of all the four pillars. In this light, the strengthening of the Bhikkhuni education is not a peripheral concern. It is integral to the health and completeness of the Buddha Sasana. Over the past days, several shared aspirations have clearly emerged. First, we aspire to cultivate deep and balanced monastic education. Bhikkhuni education
must integrate scriptural learning, Vinaya training, meditation practice, and compassionate service. Education in the Buddhist sense is not merely intellectual attainment, but the transformation of character through wisdom and discipline. Second, we aspire to strengthen institutional foundations for Bhikkhuni communities. Sustainable education requires stable training centers, qualified teachers, and supportive communities. Monasteries and nunneries are not simply physical spaces. They are living environments in which discipline, mentorship, and spiritual friendship can flourish. Third, we aspire to foster international collaboration among Bhikkhunis. In today's interconnected world, the growth of the Bhikkhuni Sangha is increasingly supported by transnational networks of learning and mutual support. Through conferences, educational exchanges, and shared research, Bhikkhunis from different traditions can learn from one another while preserving their unique cultural heritage. Fourth, we aspire to cultivate leadership rooted in wisdom and compassion. As Bhikkhuni communities grow, new generations of teachers, scholars, and administrators will be needed. Education must therefore prepare Bhikkhunis not only to understand the teachings, but also to guide communities, to preserve the Vinaya, and to serve the society with integrity. Fifth, we aspire to ensure that education leads to action. The theme of this conference reminds us that knowledge must manifest in lived practice. Bhikkhuni education should empower monastics to teach the Dhamma, to guide meditation practice, to engage in social compassion, and contribute meaningfully to the spiritual well-being of the world. Yet, beyond these concrete aspirations lies something deeper, a shared recognition that the flourishing of the Bhikkhuni Sangha is the fruit of collective effort across generations. The women who seek ordination today stand upon the shoulders of those who preserved the teaching in earlier times, often under difficult circumstances. In the verses of the Therigatha, we hear the voices of the earliest Buddhist nuns expressing their liberation and wisdom. Their words remind us that the capacity for awakening transcends on social distinctions. Their example continues to inspire countless practitioners today. The work before us is therefore both practical and spiritual. It involves building institutions, developing curricula, and supporting communities. But it also involves nurturing the inner qualities that sustain the Sangha, such as humility, patience, diligence, and mutual respect. As we leave this conference, our task is not finished. Rather, it begins anew in the places where we live and practice. Each monastery, each classroom, each meditation hall becomes a field in which these aspirations can take root and grow. May the seeds planted during this gathering continue to flourish in many lands. May Bhikkhuni education continue to deepen in wisdom and compassion. May the Bhikkhuni Sangha grow strong and harmonious, benefiting countless beings. And may the light of the Dhamma
continue to illuminate the world for generations to come. Thank you all for your dedication and participation.
The presentation of certificate and gifts. May I respectfully invite Venerable Participant Madam and Venerable Friendly and present the gifts.
I think first of all, on behalf of the organizing committee, we would like to offer and thank Pante first, and then we ask Pante.
I would like to invite Venerable at the same time, we invite the following reception to place on the stage with Pante.
Pante, we also would like to give you the certificate of appreciation for participation in this.
Thank you so much for the invitation and having me here.
Yeah, thank you, Pante. And this is a souvenir from our conference. Yes, Pante. Yeah, thank you so much, Pante.
She wants to take a photo.
Huh? Yeah, yes. Yeah, please come. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
And Dr. Iman Sukumar says, Dr. Kailas please join us on the stage to receive the certificates and gifts.
Yes, yes. Yes, okay, you can. Pante, please give them. Give him. Give, come. Receive this. Huh? Okay, so I did that. Okay, do. Yes. Sadhu. And next we will invite Venerable Sumangala to give to the other scholar. Okay. And any one of those who will leave before the 10th?
Now is there anyone who will be taking care important?
Because the 10th is our closing ceremony of the training course. So we intend to give the certificates and the gifts on the last closing ceremony. So if any one of you will leave before the 10th of March, then please tell us so that we can give you certificate right now. Otherwise, we can wait.
यहाँ पर कोई ऐसा है जो 10 तारीख से
No. How they got the ticket? If they just get it.
ये जो है 10 तारीख से पहले क्यों? क्योंकि 10 तारीख को जब क्लोजिंग सेरेमनी में आज को कॉन्फ्रेंस की क्लोजिंग सेरेमनी का 3 दिन का प्रशिक्षण है तो 10 तारीख को जब क्लोजिंग सेरेमनी समापन होगा तब सभी को जो है प्रमाण पत्र और गिफ्ट दिया जाएगा। लेकिन अगर कोई है कि 10 से पहले किसी इमरजेंसी से किसी कारण से जाने वाले जिनकी टिकट है उनको हम लोग अभी दे सकते हैं।
Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, we continue. It's thanks from Venerable Secretary and Hadith.
Hello. Thank you so much. Now we are closing this conference, And from tomorrow, we have the training program for 3 days. So on the closing of this ceremony, the conference, on behalf of the organizing committee, it is my great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks at the successful conclusion of the World Bhikkhuni Sangha Assembly held at the sacred land of Mahabodhi Society of India in the blessed city of Bodh Gaya. First and foremost, I express on behalf of organizing committee my deepest gratitude to the triple gem, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, whose timeless teaching continue to guide and inspire us, and to our Dhamma mother, Bhikkhuni Sangha Naika, Mahaprajapati Gautami Arahanta Theri, for opening this spiritual path for the women of the world. Gathering here in Bodh Gaya, the place where the Buddha attained enlightenment under the Mahabodhi tree, has made this assembly specially meaningful and spiritually uplifting. I also would like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to the Most Venerable Bhante P. Shivali, the General Secretary of MBSI, to always being a spiritual mentor for UTBSI and always encouraging and supporting the Bhikkhunis to become stronger and well established in the Dhamma Vinaya to serve the society. I'm also very, very thankful to Venerable Liễu, Venerable Sumangala, Venerable Dhammavijani, Venerable Santini, Venerable Tathaloka, Venerable Dhammananda, Venerable Dhammashanti. We all have worked hard. Since last 3 months, we all have worked hard to make this program very successful. So I am very grateful to all the venerables for giving your valuable time and guidance to make this program successful. We also appreciate all the venerable bhikkhunis who have traveled from different parts of the world to share your wisdom in this assembly and to participate also. Though we had very short time of inviting you, but I'm amazed that so many international bhikkhunis have joined us in such a short span of time. Not only international bhikkhunis, but I also thankful to the Indian bhikkhunis, because maybe the international bhikkhunis may think that we are in India, so it is easy for us to travel to come to Bodh Gaya, but actually it is not, because most of the bhikkhuni belong to Maharashtra and there is no traveling conveniency from Maharashtra to Bodh Gaya. We have to travel more than 24 hours in train, and it is very difficult to get the ticket because there is only one train weekly, one train only weekly, and it's always booked. So most of the Indian bhikkhunis have come from so far, traveling more than 24 hours in train or bus, changing from one spot to another to maybe 2 or 3 spots. So it's not easy, but not only I'm thankful for all of you to coming here, but I'm also thankful for your patience, because I think we can see the Indian bhikkhuni have the patience, because since last 2 days, 90% of the program was in English and they cannot understand. Most of them cannot understand, but still they are sitting here for the whole day saying nothing. So it's a great appreciation for your patience. I'm very, very thankful to all of you for being patient. But for your knowledge, for your giving insights about what we have done in last 2 days. I have sent all the papers in Hindi in the group, in the World Assembly, Bhikkhuniya Sangha Assembly group. I have translated all the papers and I have shared it. So please go through it. जो भी पेपर यहाँ पर इंग्लिश में पढ़े गए हैं, तो पहले तो मैं आप लोगों का बहुत बहुत साधुवाद देती हूँ कि इतने कम यातायात की सुविधा होने के बाद भी आप लोग यहाँ पर बस से, ट्रेन से कैसे कैसे मैनेज करके आप लोग आए हैं। और हमें जो सिखाना चाहिए, एटलीस्ट हम लोग यहाँ बैठकर इन विदेशियों को भी हम लोग ये तो सिखा रहे हैं कि हम लोगों के अंदर धैर्य तो है कि 2 दिन से हमको एक भी अक्षर समझ में ना आ रहा हो अंग्रेजी का, लेकिन फिर भी हम पूरा दिन सुबह से शाम तक यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं, है ना। तो ये बहुत अच्छी बात है हमारे अंदर में, ये एक अच्छी चीज है। आपको अपने लिए भी साधुवाद करना चाहिए कि नहीं, हमारे अंदर ये धैर्य है। तो और मैंने सारे जो पेपर हैं वो ग्रुप में भेज दिए हैं. So I'm thankful to all the venerables who have come so far to join this assembly, and also to Indian bhikkhunis to come here, participate, and have patience. So I'm very thankful to all of you. We are also sincerely grateful to Venerable Bhikkhus, respected professors, scholars, researchers whose insightful presentations and discussions have contributed greatly to the theme of this assembly, Bhikkhuni Education in Action. Your academic and spiritual contribution have deepened our understanding of the history, role, and future of the Bhikkhuni Sangha. Our sincere thanks go to the organizing institutions, United Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha International, in short we call it UTBSI, Mahabodhi Society of India, and Bodhi Pakhiya Dhamma Foundation. These organizing committee, their cooperation, their vision, and their tireless efforts made this important international assembly possible. We also wish to thank the members of editorial board, session chairs, panelists, speakers, volunteers, and all those who worked diligently behind the scenes to organize this program. Your dedication and hard work ensured that every session, discussion, and activity was conducted smoothly and successfully. Our appreciation also goes to all participants, students, and supporters who joined this assembly with enthusiasm and devotion. Your participation reflects that growing interest in the revival and strengthening of the Bhikkhuni Sangha across the world. We are also thankful to all the donors and sponsors who are sponsoring the breakfast, lunch, and evening meal for all the Bhikkhunis and all the volunteers. Finally, I would like to thank all of you, and may the inspiration and knowledge gained from this gathering continue to support the flourishing of the Bhikkhuni Sangha and the spread of the Buddha's noble teachings for the welfare and happiness of many. Bhavatu Sabba Mangalam, Bhavatu Sabba Mangalam, Bhavatu Sabba Mangalam. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. They really have a lot of patience sitting us. Let us compose our mind as we spend 2 days together for a wholesome endeavor in developing our understanding, our practice, and our realization of the Dhamma, so that we can continue to be inspired to always walk the noble path. And with this merit that we have gathered collectively in 2 days, may we continue to be motivated to stay energized with clear mind, with enthusiasm to walk the noble path towards the realization of liberation. And may this merit too bring inspiration to all our bhikkhunis and those who have come by our life, and to our volunteers, and to the people that come into our path. May they too be inspired with all these collective merits. And we also share this merit for the well-being of the many, for our supporters, donors, wherever they are. And we share this merit too with all the Devas and Nagas and mighty power, and all the Dhamma protectors and guardian deities. May they too rejoice in this merit and continue to protect everyone's well-being and safety.
and also lead us to the righteous path and help us in times of need. May the Devas still rejoice in the protection and prolongation of the Buddha Dhamma, Buddha Sasana, for the well-being, for the happiness, and for the benefit of the many. We also dedicate this merit for the spiritual well-being of our departed relatives, teachers, friends, and ancestors. May they continue to have this opportunity to come in contact with Vajan and one day to be free from the cycle of samsara. So now we shall share merits with the Devas and the Rasa multi-power. Akasata cha Bummata Devanaga Mahidika Punyang tangan moditwa Cirang rakantu Buddha sasanam Akasata cha Bummata Devanaga Mahidika Punyang tangan moditwa Cirang rakantu Dhamma Sadesanam Akasata cha Bummata Devanaga Mahidika Punyantagara moditwa Cirang rakantu mam paranti Etavata cahamme Sambatam punya samparang Sabbe dewa sabbe bhuta sabbe satta anumodantu Sabba sampati siddhya idam me ñātinam hotu Sukita hontu ñātayo idam me ñātinam hotu Sukita hontu ñātayo idam me ñātinam hotu Sukita hontu ñātayo Sabbe satta sukhi. Thank you.
We will tomorrow. Yes. So tomorrow we
So
will have the,
we have officially closed the today's conference and between just announced.
so we will have the ordination ceremony under the Bodhi tree in the temple.
Here.
Here shaving ceremony and the
I think here also.
ordination also.
Here.
Ordination also.
Here.
Yes.
Right. You just announced.
Yeah, I announced
We have official.
Yes. So we have officially concluded the conference, but I would like to inform you about tomorrow's program. Tomorrow we have a seminary ordination for 3 seminaries who are going to be seminary in ordination life for permanent. So before we decided to do the ordination ceremony under the Bodhi tree, but it's too messy inside, so it's not be possible there. So we will do the shaving and the ordination ceremony in the hall. So I request everyone, I think we are going to start at 6 so that we can finish by 7:30. Yeah, so we are going to start it by 6. So I request everyone to be here by 5:30, 5:45 in the hall. And after after ordination ceremony, we will have our breakfast between 7:30 to 8. We will start a bit late breakfast tomorrow, and then 9 o'clock we will start the training session here. तो कल के लिए मैं थोड़ा सा जानकारी आप लोगों को दे दूं कि हम लोगों ने फाइनली जो हमारा कॉन्फ्रेंस था 2 दिन का वो यहाँ समापन हो चुका है। कल से प्रशिक्षण शुरू होगा। तो कल सुबह सबसे पहले 3 लड़कियां हैं उनकी प्रवज्जा होनी है श्रामणेरी की, जो कि जीवन काल आजीवन रहना चाहते हैं। तो उन तीनों की प्रवज्जा हम लोगों ने पहले बोधि वृक्ष के नीचे में सोचा था, लेकिन अंदर में बहुत काम चालू है और प्रॉपर जगह नहीं है बैठने की, इसीलिए हम लोगों ने डिसाइड किया कि यहीं पर होगा। तो 6 बजे हम प्रवज्जा की विधि, शेविंग सेरेमनी और प्रवज्जा की विधि हम लोग शुरू कर देंगे। तो आप लोग 5:30 पौने 6 तक सभी लोग नीचे आ जाएंगे। तो शेविंग सेरेमनी होगी और शेविंग के बाद में प्रवज्जा होगी यहीं पर। और प्रवज्जा के बाद में नाश्ता होगा, तो नाश्ता थोड़ा लेट होगा, 7:30 से 8 के बीच में नाश्ता थोड़ा शुरू होगा कल, जब प्रवज्जा खत्म हो जाएगी उसके बाद में। और नाश्ते के बाद में 9 बजे फिर से यहाँ पर हमारा प्रशिक्षण शुरू होगा। कल से हम लोग कोशिश करेंगे, क्योंकि ये 2 दिन का कॉन्फ्रेंस था, लेकिन कल से प्रशिक्षण है, तो हम लोग कोशिश करेंगे कि आपको प्रशिक्षण कम से कम हिंदी में ज्यादा से ज्यादा अनुवाद करवाया जाए, ताकि आप लोगों को ज्यादा से ज्यादा समझ सके। और मेरे मन में एक बात आई कि अभी बहुत सी भारतीय भिक्षुणी जो है, उन लोगों को व्हाट्सएप भी इस्तेमाल करना नहीं आता है, तो जो कर सकते हैं व्हाट्सएप इस्तेमाल, तो वो भी जो है उनकी मदद कर सकते हैं, उसको प्रिंट करके देकर। ये धम्म का दान है एक तरह से, जैसे हम पुस्तक दान करते हैं, तो प्रिंट करा के जो लोग व्हाट्सएप नहीं इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं, वो उन लोगों को थोड़ा सा प्रिंट करके दान कर दे, जो भी प्रेजेंटेशन भेजी गई है। ओके, सो वी कंक्लूड हियर। Dinner is ready. The soup, the volunteers and the participants can have dinner, and the venerables can have the soup. We have the soup upstairs, so you may take dinner and take rest. Thank you. Okay.